Hey there, and welcome to the module Program Breakdown. Let's go ahead and dive right into it. So, to accompany this course, I've written an 8-week program for climbers to help them change their body in a positive way to improve their climbing performance. So, this program is called Build Muscle and Burn Fat, and it'll happen in 2 primary phases. The first phase is going to be 4 weeks long, and it is called the build phase, and then the following phase is going to be the refine phase, also 4 weeks. So, in the first phase here that we have, it'll be 4 to 5 training sessions per week, 3 climbing, and 2 strength and conditioning sessions. The climbing is going to be focused on building power and capacity, which is great to do while you're eating at caloric maintenance or in a surplus. And then you'll also be doing some weightlifting that's focused on building hypertrophy. So if you are, with your diet, attributing those resources that you need to grow, this is a great time to do that in this phase. Additionally, if you just want to have some performance benefits here and not change the number on the scale necessarily, eating at maintenance is a great option as well. In the second phase here, which is the refine phase, it's again 4 to 5 sessions per week, 3 climbing, 1 strength training session, and then 1 aerobic capacity session. The idea here is to do climbing in a performance-focused capacity, so this is going to be expressing the new strength and power that you built in the previous phase and applying that to the wall in some more limit-style sessions. The weightlifting will be focused on maintaining muscle, so we want to be sending that signal again to our brain as we're in a caloric deficit potentially in this phase to maintain the muscle that we do have. Again, always eat for your goals, so if you want to burn fat in this phase, eating a high-protein diet, and then reducing calories to fit however steep of a deficit you want to create. Additionally, we'll go ahead and talk about the programming principles in each of these phases. So in the build phase, a higher RPE with lower reps for strength and size. So this is going to be some compound lifts at the beginning of your sessions around the 3 to 6 rep range for strength. The stronger we are, the more weight we can move in the gym. So this is going to allow us to make more changes with our body later down the line. So strength is something that we always want to kind of pursue in the gym in some capacity. Additionally, at the very beginning of a session, it's important to focus on the things that are going to tax the body the most or create the stimulus that we want to the most. So in this case, we want to create a strength stimulus, and so adding that to the beginning of our strength training session will be advantageous rather than doing hypertrophy first and then strength after. So start with strength. Compound lifts, meaning multiple joints involved, is a great way to produce maximal force against resistance. So great first strength stimulus. From there, we'll get into the 5 to 12 rep range for size. So this is going to be lighter load and then higher rep. It's going to allow us to have, high time under tension and some of those other things that we talked about earlier to create those 3 kind of optimal points of mechanical tension, metabolites in the system, and then a little bit of that micro or muscle damage that you'll get, so some micro tears in your tissue. Next up is going to be the refine phase. So again, eating in however steep of a caloric deficit you want to, but in terms of training, a couple things that we want to think about is how our body is changing and how we're going to be putting stress on different areas with a different body composition. So as we're losing fat, we're going to be putting stress on areas that are typically supported by fat. So things like our joints and other structures in the body that we typically don't want to stress too much in training. So here we want to think about just doing potentially a little bit of a lower RPE, so not going to failure or near max. And then in terms of the load, we want to do a higher rep scheme because it's going to reduce the overall load so our structures aren't taking as much total kind of brute damage in our training sessions. So while our systemic fatigue is really high, additionally from this caloric deficit, our risk of injury goes up if we're reaching kind of a near limit or near max effort. And so again, just monitoring our RPE so we make sure that we aren't pushing beyond our capacity in the moment and then risking injury in a way that we don't want to. Nothing slows progress more than an injury, so we want to make sure that we're avoiding that at all times. That's it for the program breakdown. If you have any questions, please comment them in the threads that are attached to this course. I look forward to hearing how everything goes, and keep me posted.